Alright, line up with the runway. Make sure no more brakes. Gently full power. Check your power, check your engine indication, check your speed, that it's working and giving you an indication. And when all that is done, a little bit of rudder, just enough to maintain the center line. You're doing great. Airspeed is alive.
About 9 to the west, setting up for 11.
Good.
560, rotating.
Pull back. Let's go, pull back, keep pulling. Very good, don't turn to the right. You're gonna hit the wing on the ground. Keep pulling back. Keep pulling. There you go. Now you want to get it up at about that pitch attitude. Alright? And you want to aim for about 75 knots on the climb. So you're pitching for speed. I'll take care of the radios today to kind of offload you some stuff a little bit because it's going to be busy.
Traffic Archer 83947, 2 miles out. We'll be overflying the field at 1,700. Entering right base for 34 right.
Do I want to make my turn pretty much like right with this road?
That's 500 feet. So once you have the altitude, you can go.
And we're still climbing, right?
Yeah. What is the pattern altitude at Manassas Airport?
1,200?
1,200 feet. Very good. Once you're on the downwind, I will take the plane and show you the first one. Okay? That way you'll also have the recording to get back, to lead back on. So I can't do any mistakes, so then I'm on the spot.
If you do mistakes, I'm literally just going to replay them in the YouTube video.
Mass traffic 41209, left crosswind 34 left. Staying in the pattern, mass traffic.
Pattern altitude.
Count it about 5 seconds and then turn to downwind.
You said above, count 5 seconds?
Yeah, about. And let's turn downwind.
Traffic Archer 83947 over the field at 1,600, descending pattern altitude for right base for runway 34 right, Manassas.
Mass traffic, Archer 41209, left downwind, runway 34 left, Manassas traffic. Alright, so, very good, put your plane in cruise condition, trimmed at 1,200 feet, look outside, and whenever you're there, I'll take the plane.
Manassas traffic, Cessna 4H Alpha is 5 to the west.
Am I a little bit too close to the runway?
You're a little bit too close, you just need to go a little bit to the right, and pick a far reference point, like you see that water tower,
Yeah.
bar, that's a good reference point, for example.
Okay.
And go over there. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
My plane.
Your plane.
My plane, here we go. So, a little bit lower the nose, was a bit too high.
Yep.
And what we're looking for, about the numbers, right? The numbers are below the wing, which means is we are beamed the touchdown point.
Yep.
So what do?
Throttle back to 15.
Make sure the power is on, fuel pump's on, power back to 15. That's step 1. Step 2 is to trade airspeed for altitude. So you see, if I don't do anything, nose is dropping. Therefore, I am flying the plane, and I will trade speed for altitude. At 90 knots, I extend 1 notch of flaps. 85 knots coming in, I pitch for 85, and I trim the plane, and I start descending. And I control my altitude with
Power.
the power. Very good. So I'm going to add a little bit of power because we're sinking too fast. I look to my left, and I'm looking where the runway is. At about 45 degrees, that's when I turn to base. And I give my radio call.
Yep.
Manassas traffic, November 41209, left to base, runway 34 left for the touch and go mass traffic. Now on base,
Traffic Archer 83947, entering.
we want to be at 75 knots. And we call it the judgment leg, because that's where it's the easiest to make corrections. So I'm going to slow down gently. I'm going to pitch for the horizon. 80 knots, 1 more notch of flaps. And I'm at 75. I'm going to pitch for 75, look at the runway, and I'm going to judge that turning about now would give me a nice easy turn to line up on final. On 34 left, not on 34 right, because we have other traffic that's going in there, right?
Yep.
Now I look at the numbers, right? The numbers are my aiming points. Cool. So, I'm a little bit high, therefore I'm going to lower my power, and a little bit fast, because we still don't have full flaps. Final leg, full flaps. And I'm going to slow down. Give my call, Manassas traffic, November 41209, final runway 34 left, Manassas traffic. And I'm correcting. So you see, plane's flying. It's trimmed. Don't have to do anything, and I had 65 knots. Right there where I want to be. And I'm descending gently a little bit faster than I would like to be back on track. Now the track's coming back in. That's a picture thing. It will come with experience. I had more power to reduce the sink rate. I keep my airspeed, and you always pitch for the speed you want. So if I'm too fast, I will just gently bring the nose a little bit out. You see, like 2 degrees. No need more than that.
Left base, runway 34 right.
I always keep the numbers on the same point on my windshield. Okay? I look at my airspeed. I trim the plane if I need to. Always make sure that at all times you cannot touch the controls and the plane won't fall off the sky, right? Won't do anything funny. Now I'm good on my altitudes. About a wingspan from the ground, which is about now, is when I bring to straight and level, bring the power to idle, and you see how we're floating over the runway?
Yep.
Now we're starting to sink. That's why I pitch up gently and I put the plane on the ground. Cool?
Yep.
Any questions on that? On the downwind and all that?
Not too much.
Okay, here we go. Feel like in a car, it's 2 hands. If you want to give your call, go ahead. Go ahead,
Is it
that's the
just
traffic.
Manassas traffic, Archer 41209er is on the crosswind. Manassas traffic. 34 left.
So correct, 3-4 left.
34 left.
Let's go, 1200 feet, keep turning. So you see how you have this road here and a lake?
Yep.
That's kind of a good reference if you're to the west of that. That's a good distance. And if you look at your wing, you want to be the last third of the wing. Like the furthest third of the wing would hover over the runway. That will give you a good distance for the downwind. Alright, well a little high, so let's correct it. Now we're on the downwind, so what is the first thing we do?
Radio call.
Radio call, let's go.
Manassas traffic, Archer 41209er on the downwind, 34 left.
Left downwind, I have to say which one.
Left downwind.
Traffic is a Diamond 999, Victor Charlie, 11 miles out.
Next is to look at your aiming point. You see your aiming point, which is the numbers. So that is for the downwind, but you're aiming for on the runway. Do you see it?
Yep.
Once you're abeam that aiming point, that's when you start preparing the plane. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Bring the power to
15.
15. As you bring the power back, you pitch to maintain your altitude. So you already lost 100 feet. So pitch up. Keep pitching up. You're not pitching up enough. There you go.
System 4H Alpha.
Keep it up. So you're going to have to increase the back pressure on the yoke because you're reducing a lot of power.
Yeah.
At 90 knots, flaps 1.
Traffic Archer 83947.
Keep pitching up.
Runway 34 right.
Until you're at 85 knots, there's no descending.
Okay.
Now you're at 85, so pitch for airspeed. You look at the runway, 45 degrees. What do?
Turn.
Turn where?
Manassas traffic, Shimon 2. Taxiway Bravo is closed. From Bravo, Manassas traffic, this is Diamond 999. Victor Charlie, about 7 miles out. We're going to line up to base to final runway 314 left. Taxiway Echo is clear.
Alright, base leg.
2 minutes.
That's where you ask yourself if you're high or low. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. That's pretty good. Add a little bit of power so you don't get too low and start turning so you don't line up on the wrong runway. Let's go.
Is you ready, folks?
Let's go. Let's turn. Give a radio call. Go ahead.
Manassas traffic, Archer 41209er is on final for 34 left.
Very good. Now we forgot the flaps on the base because it was a very short base. Therefore, we're going to put them now. Speed check first. Are you below 90?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Flaps 2.
3947, taking Bravo 2 off runway.
And flaps 4. Now, what is your target speed on final?
60 or 75.
65. So, what is your airspeed right now?
Really fast.
Really fast. So slow down. How do you slow down without losing altitude?
Trading power for
Trading altitude for airspeed. Right. So let's do that. Disregard the runway for now. We're not gonna land. I want you to get on speed first. Get on speed. You're gonna pitch gently to the horizon a little bit, not too much. Hand off the yoke. Your hand off the yoke. Okay, not too bad. You see how your speed is gently coming back?
Yeah.
You're gonna control your power. So you see how we're sinking pretty fast? Add a little bit more power to reduce the sink. More power. More power. And let's go around. So going around means full power. Up. Gently starting to pitch up. Retract 1 notch of flaps once you're flying again. Very good. Keep climbing. Once your airspeed is at 80 knots, retract another flap. Another notch. notch, let's go.
And still.
Alright, up. You see, keep it there, don't touch it. Fly the plane, pitch up, trim the plane. Pitch up and trim the plane. Trim the plane. I'll do the radios.
Traffic time at 99 Victor Charlie is a 3 mile base to final, 34 left.
That's traffic, Archer 41209er, going around 34 left, staying in the pattern, we're on the upwind. Once you're at 500 feet above the field, and at least at 74 knots, you will lower the nose a little bit. You're going to retract the flaps because you're going to lose all that lift, and then you're going to pitch back up to 75 knots. Let's do that. 500 feet, lower the nose a little bit, retract the flaps, let the power go, and pitch back up to fly at 75 knots. Start your turn. And I'll do the radio, but you would call on the crosswind, right? Manassas traffic, November 41209, or left, crosswind 34 left, Manassas traffic. Keep climbing, 1200 feet. Stay on the crosswind a little bit longer. We didn't have a long enough base, so we'll do it a little bit longer, so we can have a little bit more time to think about it. But you can't have eternity to think about it either.
Yeah.
Alright? And how do we look? High, low, or just right?
I think good, low, a little bit low.
A little bit low, very good. So what do we do?
A little bit of power.
There you go, and turn to the runway. Manassas traffic, Archer 41209, final 34 left. Manassas traffic. Alright, on final, what do we need to be at? What's our speed?
65.
65. So if you're at 70 knots, you extend the last notch of flaps, right? Get that 65 knots. Let's go. How do you do that?
Trade altitude for airspeed.
So look outside, pitch up a little bit. See how your picture, you keep going down?
Yeah.
Gotta pitch up a little bit, about here. See that? Now you can get to 65. Once you're at 65, what do? You pitch for speed, and you're gonna add power, because now we're gonna land on those trees. Let's go, add more power than that. At least 1,000 RPM. There you go. That's much better. But look where your trim is at. You need to pitch for the airspeed and then trim for it. And then readjust the power to go back to your glide. Up, let's go, less power, or too high. So now our aiming point is not the numbers anymore. Now our aiming point is going to be the third centerline stripe. See that? Less power, power to idle, runway's made. Here's our aiming point, you see it?
Yep.
Now we're over it.
Yep.
Our touchdown point is this stripe, second one. Hold it, right rudder, gently pull back, and let the plane settle. Alright? We're going to stop here and taxi back because we don't have enough runway to take off, okay? So gently brake the plane. Don't pull to the right, just pull up. Pull back, not to the right. So you're pulling to the right?
Yeah.
We're too close to the ground to do that, you'll scrape the wing on the runway.
Okay.
Manassas traffic, Zone 2. Taxiway Bravo is closed from Bravo 3 to Bravo 2. Back taxi using Bravo, using runway 34 right. From Bravo 3 to Bravo 2. Taxiway Foxtrot closed.
Huh?
It's just so staticky.
Because he's on the ground. They're doing work on the other side of the airport. So he's saying that part of taxiway Bravo is closed. Manassas traffic, 41209 on the upwind 34 left for the pattern we're doing left traffic. Alright, good 500 feet, let's turn left. So, what are we thinking about now?
Getting at pattern altitude and leveling off.
No. You're thinking about the downwind, because getting the pattern altitude leveling off, you know it's going to happen in about 30 seconds. So you're thinking about how you're going to prepare the plane to land.
Okay.
You thought about pattern altitude before you took off. Alright? That's how ahead of the plane you need to be.
Okay.
So talk to me. What are you thinking about?
Right now I'm thinking about...
How nice it would be to get an iced coffee right now.
I'm thinking about trying to keep my distance and trying to make sure that I hit pattern altitude instead of going over it.
Okay. Alright, let's turn left. It's a good distance. Keep that water tower as a reference of yours. A little bit too much bank angle, let's say, for my comfortableness. But you see how you're going towards the runway?
Yeah.
That's why you don't have a downwind.
Okay.
You have to go to that water tower there, far ahead. If you put your nose towards there, you'll stay parallel to the runway. Maintain your altitude. Again, you're starting to level off at 1200.
Yeah.
If you start to level off at 1200, you are too late.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's like lining up right with the turn, and it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Already here. I want to.
Mass traffic, Archer 41209, left downwind 34 left for the pattern. Mass traffic. Alright, pitch for
85.
let's go. Don't get slower. And adjust your altitude with the
Power.
very good. You're filling the blanks pretty well. When do we turn base?
45 to the numbers.
Very good.
A little
What do we do in
slow
base?
already. Flaps 2.
And
Trim.
okay, obviously. And
Make the call.
okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the most important thing in the pattern. What is life in an airplane?
Airspeed.
Airspeed, very good. So what's your airspeed on base?
75.
75, very good. So pitch for 75 knots. Before you extend the flaps, you want to check that you're at 80 knots,
Uh-huh.
okay? Because if not, you will exceed limitations,
Okay.
and that will break the airplane. So, below 80, flaps 2, or flaps 25. Mass traffic 41209, left downwind 34 left, mass traffic. Correction, that was a left base. Alright, what is on final, the configuration?
65 for the speed.
Very good.
And
Power
Power
as needed.
as needed.
And how much flaps?
3.
3, below 70 knots. So be at 70. Extend flaps, help you out. Do you like to land on the grass? Because I don't really. Line up on the runway, thank you. Those line of trees are kind of really held there.
Yeah.
They didn't put them to help you, but it's like they almost did it on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Right? Looks like they almost did it on purpose to help students to know where the runway is at.
Mm-hmm.
65 knots, trim the plane, power for controlling your sync rate. Hand off the yoke. Off the yoke. Not too bad. Mass traffic, Archer 41209, short final 34 left for the touch and go. Mass traffic. Alright, so you're at 65 knots, very good. Line up with the runway that we've better. Where's your aiming points? Way
the
too
numbers,
low, right? A little bit too low here. Lower the nose, you want to land. And about this altitude, that's when you bring it back, you hold it, gently pull back now. Pull back on the yoke. Up, bounce, go around. Full power. That was a bounce.
Okay.
Full power. When you bounce, you go around. Once you get some airspeed, 1 notch of flaps, start climbing. Once you're at 70 knots and a positive rate of climb, which means you're getting further and further away from the ground.
2.
Another, yeah. And now you leave the last one until you're at 500 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wasn't pulling back enough.
You weren't pulling back enough, but when you did, it was too late because the plane landed.
Okay.
And then we hit the ground, and with the fact that you pulled back, that allowed us to bounce and start flying it. But we were in ground effect, so it's a false flying effect.
Okay.
Right? Because if you get out of ground effect, that's why we bounce twice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bounce is totally normal. If you don't know how to bounce, you don't know what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta know what not to do and what is dangerous. Before you turn, retract the flaps. Because then you'll forget. Now go ahead. Alright, so I want to hear what you're thinking.
Right now I'm thinking about the radio call that we didn't do. I'm thinking about trying to get onto the...
Radio call is the last thing, alright? Aviate, fly the plane, navigate, see where you're going, communicate is last, alright? So when we have a second, we'll tell everybody we did a go-around.
Okay.
Alright? And if the tower was here, they would know that you did a go-around.
Okay.
Because they'll see you. Astrac 41209er, we are crosswind, turning left downwind 34 left, Manassas traffic. Very good. good, 1,200 feet. Like it. Where is your visual reference?
The tower.
Very good, keep it there. 2,300 on the RPM, not 2,000. You will obviously descend if you don't add more power.
So right now I'm thinking about when I'm going to be at the numbers. I want to power back, pitch for 85.
And at 90 knots or below, you're going to extend one
notch of flaps.
and at 85 you will pitch to maintain that airspeed and reintroduce the throttle as needed. Very good.
Alright, so
Right Lancer, taxi from the east trim to runway 34 right.
So, buttons.
powering back. I'm going to pitch for airspeed, powering back to 15.
Look outside. Forget about the indications for a second. Feel the plane. You feel that it's slowing down. Alright, now you can extend some flaps. Below 90. Are you below 90? Very good. Then you're at 85.
85 already.
Pitch. Trim the plane. Readjust the power. If you need to. But you gotta keep 85 knots. Alright? Mass traffic, Archer 41209, returning left base, runway 34 left, Mass traffic.
45, we're already a little bit far.
Alright, what's on base?
75, 85. This is kind of where I get confused, where we have to still sink.
You have to
but we want
descend,
traffic,
and you
but
want
we
to slow
still
down.
wanna slow down.
So you're going to reduce the power, and you're going to maintain the same pitch attitude that will slow you down. And you're going to extend the flaps, it will help you slow down. And then you're going to reduce the pitch to keep 75. It's a constant movement of pitch and power all the time. Mass traffic for Archer 41209, or final runway 34 left for the pattern, mass traffic.
Mass traffic,
Here,
White Lancer, back taxi, 34 right.
Alright, on final, so we're looking at the runway. What do you think, high, low, or just right?
Just right.
Or just
one
right?
One red, one white.
Very good.
We're still a little fast.
So what do we do?
We're reducing power a little bit. I don't want to get too low though. I'm pitching for 75.
What is your speed on final?
Or 65.
65, so extend the flaps if you're at 70 knots to help you out. Trim the plane for maintaining 65 knots. And gently come down. So, how do you think? If we keep that power setting, will we be good on our picture all the way to the runway?
I think we'll be a little bit far.
A bit low.
A little bit low.
So you need to add I don't know, 100 or 200 RPM. That should be enough to do the trick, to kind of slow down the sink rate. But this is a great picture. Keep it there. Hand off the yoke. Very good. And you see how the numbers don't move if you had a target on your windshield? They're always there. Keep pitching. Keep it on that target. There you go. See how you need to pitch down a little bit? Now we're getting higher, so less power. It is dynamic. It always changes. Alright? Now a little bit more power. You took too much out. There you go. Getting closer to the runway. Keep going. Keep going. Now power to idle. Not yet. Keep going to the runway. Now you bring it to stranded level. And nope, too much pitch up. Gently let it sink. You see how we're straight? Gently let it sink, and then you pitch up. Alright, we'll train on that. Let's go. Full power. You got one notch of flaps to help us out. Ready? Let's go. So on this one, what we're gonna do is you're gonna prepare the plane for landing, and then you're gonna be on the controls, but I will have control of the plane.
Okay.
And we'll just fly a little bit. We'll fly in ground effect all over the whole runway.
Okay.
So you can feel how the plane flies on ground. It flies a little bit different, and you have to be very gentle with things. Okay? Because if not, if you do abrupt maneuvers, the plane just will have too much lift, and it's gonna be hard to control. Okay? Once we do that a couple times, then we'll start learning how it will help you to see the distance from the runway. And it will help you to see when we start sinking. Okay?
I'm at 500 above, the last notch.
Manassas traffic, Archer 41209 are turning left crosswind, 34 left, Manassas traffic.
Now I'm gonna make my turn.
Put some right rider in. Keep that right rider in there. Lower the nose first. If not, you'll stall. Right? And it also allows you to accelerate the airplane, and you're underpowered. Manassas traffic, Archer 41209 are left downwind, 34 left, Manassas traffic.
Alright, so I'm focused on this water tower, waiting for numbers.
So this position is called midfield, alright? If you had a tower that's still called midfield, this
Okay.
is when you would call them.
Okay. As far calling for...
You call every time you do a pattern with a tower, control tower, you have to ask them a clearance to land.
Okay.
So you ask them, you'll tell them Manassas Tower 41209er, we're on the left midfield for 34 left for the option, and then they'll clear you. Without clearance, you're not allowed to land
Okay.
with an operating control tower. When the control is not there, clearance, everybody's doing it. It's called the common advisory. Coming Traffic Advisory Frequency, CTAF, what it stands for. Manassas traffic, Archer 41209 or left base, runway 34 left, Manassas traffic.
Right at 75, 500 feet.
Very good,
Right.
75 on base. Be perpendicular to the runway, not crooked. There you go. Looking good, what do you think? High, low, or just right?
A little low.
If you continue like that, you will be super low, yeah? So add more power to control your sync rate.
Alright, left turn out for the white line stairs.
Manassas traffic, Archer 41209, a final runway 34 left, Manassas traffic. Alright, what about now? High, low, or just right?
Look, or high.
High, right? Because you were good on base, but if you didn't add that power, you'd be too low. Therefore, you added too much power,
Yeah.
so now we're too high because you need to continuously descend in the pattern, right? That is
Now
a
we're
much
getting
better.
fast, though.
All right, so correct the pitch for the airspeed until you're on airspeed. You have full flaps. Maybe that might be one reason. Very good. Keep that aiming point in there. Add a little bit of power. We're underpowered. You feel how the plane's starting to
Yeah.
kind of fall like a leaf? Very good. My airplane, stay
Airplane.
under control though, okay? You're gonna fly the plane. I'm just gonna show you what to do.
Okay.
So just listen to me the power. And here we go. So there you go. Pitch back gently and hold it there. Fly over the runway, okay? Try and feel the plane.
Yeah.
You feel it? Feel how gentle it is
Yeah.
to pitch up? If you pitch up too much, you will get out of ground effect, lose your lift, and it'll slam. So this is a little bit too high. We don't want to come to about here, okay? You ready? We're going around. We can do it on the other runway. It's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
To feel it, I got you the first notch of flap. And it is your airplane.
My airplane.
Your airplane. Mass traffic, Archer 41209 are going around. 34 left, mass traffic. So you feel how gentle the plane needs to be handled in
Yeah.
ground effect? And we'll try and do a 3-4 right to have a longer runway to play with.
Okay.
And do it again. And then the next time around, we'll do 3-4 right again. So you can kind of feel where you need to transition. Okay, be on that one wingspan height from the runway. All right, one more notch of flaps, don't forget. You're on 2, now you're on 1.
3 flaps before.
Why don't we just retract all the flaps when we go around? Why do all this hustle of one way?
Because you'll, like if you put them all the way down, you'll like just have a whole bunch of lift all of a sudden.
Of what?
You'll have a lot less drag all of a sudden.
A lot less drag and a lot less lift. You will kill all the lift, therefore
Yeah.
the plane will stop flying. So you will literally fall like a rock. I had a student do this. It is a scary feeling. Okay?
Downwind.
Fast traffic Archer 41209 left, downwind 34 left. We're gonna sidestep to 34 right. Where's your power at?
Around 23. 24.
That's 2475. Thank you. You can hear it with the engine. You can see it with the airspeed. Now we're gonna go out of 34 right. So now your touchdown point is 34 right number, so it's a bit longer.
So we're gonna keep going.
So you keep going straight. That will be your new runway, okay? Fast traffic November 41209 or left downwind. Runway 34 right for the touch and go. That's traffic. Now the plane I'm taking with the next student is not in yet, so we can continue going on.
Okay.
I mean, my plane is not back. Alright, I want to hear you say check speed 90.
85.
Laps
We're
1.
below it. 90. I checked. We're at 85 now. Pitching. Trim
Before
feels pretty good.
every time before you extend a notch of flaps, I want you to say check speed, verify with your eyes, and then extend if it's good.
About 45. I don't want to turn too deep. Like I'm sinking a little bit too much.
Fast traffic Archer 41209 left, base runway 34 right for the touch and go. That's traffic.
So base, we want to be at 75.
Yep.
Checking, we're still really fast. When I take off,
Not really fast.
not really fast.
Just a little bit fast. But if you keep that speed all the way to final, then we'll be really fast.
We're at 80. Add the second notch. Leading off. We're at 75.
Very good. Trim the plane.
Turn final.
That's traffic Archer 41209 and final 34 right for the touch and go. That's traffic. Alright, so what is your aiming point on this runway?
The numbers.
Numbers works for me. The big white blocks, see how you have two white blocks?
Yeah.
That is called the 1,000 footers.
When
It's 1,000 feet.
2, taxiway Bravo is clear. We have men and equipment on taxiway Foxtrot, sending FOD. Shrunk 2 Manhattan.
We're at 75. Nice flaps. Approach, I feel like looks good.
Where's the runway center line?
Over here.
Over here, right, very good. Disregard the lights. The lights are for the 1,000 footers, okay? We're going for the numbers.
Degree downwind for runway 34 left.
How are you doing on speed?
Still too high.
You're too fast.
Still too fast.
Alright, keep coming down though. Being fast is not a problem if you can correct it. And my power.
Your power?
And we're gonna fly in ground effects.
Okay.
So go ahead, try and feel the plane, maintain that distance from the runway. Don't go higher, don't go lower. About here, that's where you want to be.
Okay.
Try and keep that in. Go ahead, try and keep that in. Now very gentle when you push forward, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now when you land, keep it here. Keep it here. When you land, you'll pull back gently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reduce the power. I'm gonna pull back gently. That's the picture you want to be when you land. Okay, here we go again. Pitch for 62. A little bit of right rudder in here.
Why do we have to pitch so high?
That is called VX. It's a
Okay.
clearance speed obstacle.
Oh, okay.
Allows us to gain more altitude and less distance.
Okay.
It's a short field technique, short field landing technique, short field takeoff, sorry.
Uh-huh.
Don't counteract my rudder.
Okay.
Putting a right rudder because you're not doing it. Alright, keep flying at 75. You can lower the nose now. We're clear of obstacles. That's traffic Archer 41209 on the upwind, 3-4 right. We're going to do a right pattern this time. Mass traffic. We're doing a right pattern. So same thing, 500 feet. Retract the flaps if you're at 75 knots, and then you're going to do a right pattern. Okay? And that will be our last one.
Okay.
So we will land on 3-4 right, and we will taxi and cross 3-4 left at the end of 3-4 right. So we have all the runway to play with.
Okay. I literally have no idea what I'm looking at.
There's the runway, same concept.
Yep.
And find a reference far ahead. There's a good antenna over there, or there's a good brown field. See that? The right wing?
Yep.
It will not always land on the same airport, the same runway. Pitch first. Gain airspeed, then reduce power. That's why it's pitch power trim. Because you want to gain that speed first. Let's go. That's traffic Archer 41209, or right downwind 3-4 right. Massive traffic.
What did you say?
I have no idea. Alright, 23 on the power, please. Look at the runway, and don't get too close to the runway. You see that brown field in front of you? If you stay on the left side, if your nose is to the left side of the brown field, you should be probably parallel. It looks pretty good. You see how your last third of your wing is hovering over the runway? A pretty good distance. You don't want to be more further than that. That is considered a pretty far downwind.
Like what I am right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking about is if I lose an engine, can I make it back? So right now, yes, we could make it back because the runway's long enough. But on a shorter airport with a little bit more wind than that, we might be a bit too far. But for now, that's a good distance just to kind of have a reference. Okay? And also gives you more time for the base.
So for the first flaps, we want to make sure we're below 90. Pitching for 85. First launch.
Mass traffic Archer 41209, turning right base, runway 34 right. Mass traffic.
Base we want to
You see the airplane there, the diamond, over the horizon?
No.
Okay, never mind. But keep your eyes looking, but he's going for 3-4 left.
Is it?
He will. See him now? He's over the horizon.
No.
Alright, keep concentrating. But you need to be able to use and
Yeah, I
look,
see him.
use your eyes to find other airplanes.
Are we a little close to the, for final?
Nope. No, you're perfect. You're not a jet airplane.
Okay.
Vanessa traffic 804 Romeo turning base for runway 34 left.
See him.
Alright, keep descending. If you keep descending, it would be good. If you're at the same altitude, no, we're not good. But watch out when you pitch down, right? What's going on? Your speed's coming faster. MS traffic, Archer 41209, turning final 3-4 right, and we have visual on the diamond. Keep clear. You see how close it can get when both planes are landing? That's why you want to really be on your center line. And watch out for this guy, because if he's making a mistake, you gotta better get out of there. Alright? So, high, low, or just right?
A little bit high.
So, what do we do?
Vanessa traffic 804 Romeo turning final for 34 left and have the other traffic on final in sight.
Alright, do you?
Oh yeah.
How about now? That's a great picture. Keep it there. Look at the numbers, right? You see how we were much higher and now we're kind of...
Manassas traffic, Chemung 1, man on foot on Foxtrot for inspection.
It's a little
Chemung
bit...
1, Manassas.
The angle is a bit lower. How about your speed? Where is that at?
Speed is too
bit
fast.
Alright, so to land the plane, when the runway is made, which is about in 2, 1 now, power idle, bring the nose gently to Australian level, keep it here, too high, keep it here. Let the plane come to the ground, and when it's close to the ground about here, that's when you pitch back, hold it, hold it, hold it. Cool? They start to make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep the nose back. Keep going all the way down. Alright, let me keep taxiway Kilo. The next one is all the way down, so we can go and cross 3-4 left. Okay? So add a little bit of power so we can taxi. We're on a runway, so we can go a little bit faster. That's traffic, Archer 41209er. We are rolling out all the way to the end for taxiway Victor. That's traffic.
I feel like that last one was the best one.
About your legs. It was, because I helped you.
Oh, I did that myself.
No, but I didn't concentrate on teaching you how to do the transition. I told you today would be on preparing their plane for landing.
Mm-hmm.
The transition, I introduced it to you. Start slowing down, because the taxiway is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Today I introduced you to the transition by, it's not really hovering, it's really flying low altitude over the runway to kind of see that picture. But what is important for me was to get the configurations on point.
Yeah, I definitely felt more comfortable getting to the...
and if you have something to shoot for, you know if you're wrong or right. You have a reference point, right? That's traffic, Archer 41209, clear of 3-4 right on Victor, holding short of 3-4 left.